guys, what's going on? It's MJ's Raw Review and I'm coming to you from mjfitness.au. Awesome Raw Review for the viewers at home today on a clean meal replacement protein powder gainer from our good friends at Rule 1. It is, of course, Rule 1, clean gainer in the house. Let's get straight into it, show you guys exactly what's in it, tell you exactly what it's going to do. Big ass nutritional information panel appearing on screen so you guys can play along at home because we're about to go balls deep in this here Rule 1 clean gainer, starting from the top, and this is the vanilla ice cream flavor. It's two flavors, vanilla ice cream, chocolate fudge. We'll go through the flavors a little later in the video, but these macros are for the vanilla ice cream flavor because they do vary slightly across the two flavors. Starting from the top, serving size about 2 heaping scoops, 144 grams. Got yourself about 15 of those 2 heaping scoop bitches in each of these tub clean gainer bitches. Also comes in big bags as well. We can't fit, there's nowhere to put the bags are big. The bags are big. Nowhere to put them. 30 serves. So 32 scoop heaping, two heaping scoop serves in each of the big bag bitches. In terms of what the 2 heaping scoop serve is made up of, it is a gainer protein. So we're going to talk about the macros. Got ourselves 4.5 grams of fat. Actually, let me back up real quick. Let's talk about the calories, because the calories in any gainer or meal replacement protein is quite important. We got 560 calories in a 2 heaping scoop serve, and that's consistent across the flavors. That doesn't change. So you can bank on the 560 calories. In terms of what the 560 calories is made up of, now we can dive into the macros. Fat. 4.5 grams, of which 3 grams is saturated. So we're dealing with by weight about 3% fat by weight, 2% saturated fat. We've got a little bit of cholesterol in there, a little bit of sodium from some of the flavoring. We'll go through that in a second. Total carbohydrate, 97 grams, 67% carbs by weight, of which 8% is 8 grams is sugar. So we're dealing with about 6% sugar. And then a protein, of course. 30 grams of protein, 20% protein by weight. The protein is also consistent across the flavors. So you can bank on the 560 calories, you can bank on the 30 grams of protein. The fat and carbohydrates move just a little bit, not significantly, but just a little bit. So we're clearly dealing with a, man, look, they call it clean gainer, but honestly, it's more like a, it's more like a lean gainer. To be honest, just drop the C off, call it lean gainer. But it's more of a meal replacement, really. 30 grams of protein, almost 100 grams of carbs. So we're dealing with like a 3-to-1 protein to carb ratio. Pretty much trace fats in there if you were considering a meal, really, where you get these macros from. And there might be a little Easter egg regarding that later in the video. But it really is like a lean gainer slash medium calorically dense meal replacement type powder. That's probably how I would describe it in terms of where those macros are coming from. So this is where it gets really interesting. The carbohydrates, the 97 grams of carbs, of which 8 grams of sugar, coming from a 6-source carbohydrate blend. The 6 sources in this carbohydrate blend, the first one is maltodextrin. We then move into some organic quinoa. We've then got organic blueberry. We've then got ginger root. We've then got organic rice bran, and then finally we've got oat fiber. So quite a broad spectrum. We've got some grains in there. We've got some fruits in there. Quite a broad spectrum of carbohydrates going in to make up the 97 grams of carbs. The protein is also a blend, so a 4-source protein blend, which comprises whey protein concentrate, whey protein isolate, milk protein isolate, and micellar casein. So a big spectrum of proteins in there. All of them are obviously dairy based, but we've got, you know, super fast digesting whey protein isolate right down to very slow digesting micellar casein. And then the fats also come from a 4-source blend. We're talking about a blend of MCTs, medium chain triglycerides, a blend of flaxseed oil, avocado extract, and then sunflower oil in there as well. So 4 stage fats in there also. We've then got some flavors, natural and artificial flavors across both the flavors. We've got some emulsifiers in there to help it mix really well. Sometimes it's soy, sometimes it's sunflower, it's lecithin, wherever it comes from. We've got some sweeteners in there, of course, and a little bit of salt. Importantly, no creamers, no gums, no added amino acids, so there's no amino spiking in the Clean Gainer. No digestive enzymes, so for those of us that have an issue with digestive enzymes, we don't need to worry about that. And you can see on the tub at the front there, informed choice banned substance tested. So you know that what is on the label is what is in the product, is what you are putting in your body. It's a really nice nutritional panel. There's a lot going on, as there usually is with meal replacement proteins, gainer proteins, that sort of thing, but it's a really nice nutritional panel. You can see exactly where the carbs are coming from, exactly where the protein's coming from, exactly where the fats are coming from. There's no kind of, you know, fucking black magic shit going on. It's just a really nice, put together, nicely formulated, lean gainer protein. In terms of how it tastes, how it mixes, comes in 2 flavors. Comes in, this one right here, the vanilla ice cream, comes in, let's pull this down here, the chocolate fudge, which goes straight to the biceps, as you guys know. I've tried the chocolate. I actually haven't tried the vanilla ice cream. So this is gonna be a live first tasting of the vanilla ice cream Rule 1 Clean Gainer. Let me go and rip these this double seal off. Anyone else have trouble with these double seals? I can never get these damn things up. They come off. I can never get them off the first time. Bro, punch this bitch in. As is tradition, that went straight through. That's what we like to see. Smells quite nice. All right, we got an MJ shaker. We got a double wall glass. We're gonna follow the directions to the T for the Clean Gainer. That's what I'm looking at. Mix about 2 heaping scoops of the R1 Clean Gainer with approximately 14 ounces of water, milk, or your favorite beverage in a shaker cup or glass. With a spoon. No. Who has a glass that big? Seriously, we got an MJ shaker, we got 14 ounces, which is about 400 mils of water. Ready to go. We're gonna go 2 heaping scoops. Now, these scoops are gainer scoops. So they're not quite buckets like you would get from like a real weight gainer protein, but just so you guys know what to expect. It's kind of a uniquely shaped scoop. Look at that. It's like a pentagon. It's a pentagon scoop. That's the scoop we're dealing with there. And when they say heaping, it's not, I would probably call it rounded more than heaping, to be honest, because you're gonna need like 2 of those to get the 144 grams. So it's more like I guess you could call it heaping. I'm gonna say it's more like a rounded scoop. The difficult thing is getting like that rounded heaping scoop into the damn shaker. So I'm actually gonna level it off, and I'm gonna do like 2.5 level scoops, just so you guys can see how much powder you're gonna be expected to chuck into your shaker. So about 2.5 level scoops is going to be the same as like 2 rounded, 2 heaping scoops. So we throw that on there. A few flicks of the wrist. I'm going to show you guys how it mixes. And then for the very first time, live in this raw review, you're going to see how this vanilla ice cream flavor tastes. And I'm quietly excited because I know Rule 1 vanilla flavors are like goated vanilla flavors. A little bit more, just because it's a gainer. All right, I think that's probably enough to show you guys what's going on. So you can see in the shaker straight up, very well mixed, like straight away. Let's pour it in. It's pretty impressive. Just from a mixability. You know what they did say on the label, with a glass with a spoon. I don't know, maybe we should have tried with a glass with a spoon. It might actually have mixed, because that has, like, you guys saw that, 400 mils of water, 150-ish mils of powder, and look at that. That is perfect. Gainers are not supposed to mix like this. Very, very good. I would go so far as to say, I don't know. I think maybe we actually need to try it. Look, I did use a turbo ball, so I'm gonna have to say turbo ball is required, but it might be worth a second take just to see if it does mix in a glass with a spoon. We just need a really big glass. All right, vanilla ice cream taste test about to go down. Oh, man. I said that the Rule 1 vanilla flavors are goated, and like, I'm talking about like the Rule 1 Way Blend vanilla ice cream. I'm talking about the R1 Isolate vanilla cream. I'm talking about the Source 7 vanilla. Oh my God. Man, let me tell you guys. Rule 1, just do not miss. They do not miss with their vanilla flavors. I actually think, you know what? It's pretty rare when a vanilla flavor is better than a chocolate flavor, when you only have chocolate and vanilla, and the vanilla flavor is better than the chocolate. But I actually think, I reckon Clean Gainer vanilla ice cream is better than chocolate fudge. Those are the two flavors, by the way. Vanilla ice cream, chocolate fudge down here as well. I'm gonna say, in my personal opinion, I reckon the vanilla is actually better than the chocolate fudge. But each to their own. Chocolate does go straight to the biceps. Vanilla goes to the calves, maybe? I'm not sure. Where does vanilla go? Doesn't go to the biceps, but you're not gonna go wrong, guys. Both of the flavors are very, very good. In terms of the effects, I would actually not call this a gainer. I know I said at the start of the video, it's more like a meal replacement so far as the calories are concerned, and they have called it Clean Gainer. It really is like, if you're gonna describe it as a gainer protein powder, it definitely is a lean gainer, specifically because it's not a tremendous amount of calories, like 1,000 calories plus per serve. It's not a tremendous amount of carbohydrates. It really is more of like a meal replacement or even a meal addition. If you were looking to like get into a caloric surplus and use Clean Gainer to get you there, it would be like, take your current caloric intake, your current meals, and then just add this on top as like another meal. Super easy to digest, of course, very convenient, so on and so forth. So it is going to help increase your daily caloric intake. I think so far as the actual digestion effects are concerned, very easy to digest. The carbohydrate blend, there's nothing in there that's going to cause any gastrointestinal upset. The protein blend as well, if you are not sensitive to dairy or lactose in particular, very easy to digest. Keep in mind that it is whey-based. The protein blend is primarily whey-based, and it is gonna have lactose in there. So if you are particularly sensitive to lactose, you might get a little bit of gastrointestinal upset. But if you don't have an issue with dairy, you don't have an issue with lactose, very easy to digest protein blend, very easy to digest carbohydrate blend, very easy to digest fat blend as well. And keep in mind that the protein blend specifically is whey-based. So it's pure, it's complete, it's highly biologically available as well, which means it's going to be great for really kind of any time of day use. Whether you want to use this as a meal replacement or a meal addition with your first meal of the day, if you have a really busy morning and just want to throw 2 scoops in the shaker, smash it down, 560 calories, breakfast, away you go. You want to have it before bed as like a little caloric top up before you go to bed. The casein is going to be a little bit slower digesting while you sleep as well. Really, you can use it any time of day. In terms of the side effects, as I mentioned, it is dairy based. The protein blend is dairy based, so it is going to contain lactose. So if you do have an issue with dairy or lactose, just tread carefully because it may upset your stomach just a little bit. What does it compare to? Now, this is interesting because I scoured the market for lean gainer proteins and also meal replacement proteins. And I had a really hard time finding something that kind of went head to head with Rule 1 Clean Gainer. It is a very unique formulation in terms of where the calories are coming from, in terms of how many calories, and specifically in terms of the macronutrient ratio that makes up those calories. So that 3-to-1 protein with very low fat to give you the 500-ish calories is very unique. There's really, I could really only find one product that was comparable. Everything else was either like much more carbs or much more protein or not enough calories or many more calories. There was really only one other protein product that I found that kind of I figured makes sense to go head to head, and that's actually Redcon 1 MRE. So that's Redcon 1's meal replacement. So I think that's really the only thing I can compare it to, aside from comparing it to a whole food meal. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna stack it head to head against Redcon 1 MRE, and I'll show you how the two products compare, even though MRE really is marketed as being a meal replacement, whereas Clean Gainer is marketed as being a lean gainer. And then we're gonna take Clean Gainer and we're gonna put it up against, if you were to get the calories and the macros from a whole food meal, what does that look like and how does that compare? So let's start with Redcon 1 MRE. Calories, Redcon 1 MRE slightly lower, so 520 calories compared to the 560 in Clean Gainer. Much of a muchness, but slightly less calories in Redcon 1 MRE. The macros vary quite a bit as well. So Redcon 1 MRE is 50% higher in protein, 25% lower in carbs, and slightly lower in fat. So similar calories, macros are slightly different across the two products. Ingredients, now this is where they really start to diverge. Redcon 1 MRE, the carb blend, uses oats, dextrose, yam, sweet potato, pea, blueberry, goji berry, and maltodextrin. So it's an 8 source carbohydrate blend versus the 6 source carbohydrate blend in Clean Gainer. That being said, they are both kind of quite broad spectrum carbohydrate blends. There's some grains in there, there's some berries in there. Both of them have quite a significant range of different carbohydrates contributing to the carbohydrates in each and every serve. The protein, Redcon 1 MRE doesn't use whey protein at all. It uses a blend of beef protein, pea protein, rice protein, chicken protein, egg protein, salmon protein, and a little dash of milk protein, which they put on there and say it's for texture, but it does contribute to the protein, of course. So there's plant, there's animal, there's fish, there's a whole bunch of proteins going into Redcon 1 MRE, whereas Clean Gainer, I'm going to keep calling it Lean Gainer. Clean Gainer uses that 4-source protein blend, primarily whey-based, whey protein concentrate, whey protein isolate, milk protein isolate, and micellar casein. The fats in Redcon 1 MRE come from coconut and MCTs. So, and pretty much most MCTs come from coconut anyway. So let's just call it that's coming from coconut. Whereas in Clean Gainer, you've got the 4-source fat blend and slightly higher in fats as well. So they do diverge significantly in terms of what's actually making up the calories and the macronutrients. Interestingly enough, Redcon 1 MRE does use gums. So it uses cellulose gum primarily as like a texturizer, whereas Clean Gainer is completely gum free. So far as flavors are concerned, Redcon 1 MRE has 9 flavors at the moment, and they tend to add and take away flavors, let's call it around 10, whereas Clean Gainer is just the vanilla and the chocolate, the 2 hero flavors, of course. And then in terms of price, Redcon 1 MRE only comes in the one size. It's a 7-pound tub. It's a similar size tub to this, just a little bit heavier, 25 serves per tub, and it's slightly cheaper per serve than Rule 1 Clean Gainer. That's how the two compare. And like I said, they're still significantly different, and that's what I'm talking about with the Clean Gainer. It's almost like it's a little bit in a league of its own. There really is no other meal replacement or lean gainer protein that stacks head to head with Rule 1 Clean Gainer. It really is unique in that aspect. So the other thing we can compare it to is a whole food meal. So let's take, all right, we're gonna try and match these calories and macros. So we want a whole food meal that's gonna give us 560 calories. It's gonna give us about 100 grams of carbs, about 30 grams of protein, and about 5 grams of fat. So I put a meal together that looks a little bit like this. It's gonna be like a chicken rice bowl. So you got 100 grams of cooked chicken breast, which is gonna get you most of that protein, 200 grams of cooked rice, which is gonna get you most of those carbs. And then because Clean Gainer uses a broad spectrum of carbohydrates, we're gonna throw about 150 grams of pineapple in there, 100 grams of cooked sweet potato in there as well. So it's kind of like a chicken rice bowl with some other carb sources for variety. What we're talking about there is 1 source of protein, obviously, 2 sources of carbs, trace fats coming from the chicken and rice, so there's no specific fat contributing to the fat in this bowl, because you're going to get enough fat from the chicken and a little bit from the rice there as well to make up that 5 grams or the 4.5 and the vanilla flavor. This is where it gets interesting, because the price for that particular meal, if you were to go and get like a meal prep company to do it for you, right? Or you were going to go to the supermarket and go to like the pre-prepared meal section. That sort of meal with that caloric content, with that macronutrient content, with those types of ingredients, and those are pretty basic ingredients, right? It's a pretty basic kind of chicken bowl that we're talking about here. It's going to cost you like, it's got to be like 12 to 15 bucks now, right? If you were to go and get that and order it out somewhere, it's going to cost you probably 20 bucks upwards. So it is significantly more expensive than the price per serve in the clean gainer, which we're going to go through in a second. So just keep those prices in mind. If you were to try and match what you're getting in terms of calories and macronutrients from the clean gainer from a whole food meal, you're talking about like, let's call it $12 upwards. Who is it best for? You know what? I'm going to do price and value for money first. We're going to switch it around just because those numbers are clear in your mind. Price and value for money. So Australian marketplace, 15 serve tubs, retailing now, well, we retail them for 114 bucks for 15 serves. So it's going to break out at $7.60 per serve. If you go to the big bag, you're talking about 30 serves in those bags, and those retail at 184. So it breaks down to $6.13 per serve. So it's literally half the price, of trying to get the same calories, the same macros or similar macros from a pre-prepared whole food meal. Keep that in mind. Who is it best for? Last but not least. Look, I think the clean gainer is going to be best for anybody who's looking obviously to increase their daily caloric intake or replace a particular meal and is looking for a incredibly tasty, let me finish this off. It's so damn good. Incredibly tasty, incredibly convenient, provided you don't have issues with dairy or lactose, very easy to digest and very quick to consume as well. If you're looking for that and you're looking for that sort of thing to add on top of your meals to give you an extra 500 calories per day, the 30 grams of protein, 100 grams of carbs, 55 grams of fat to add on top of your meals to push you into caloric surplus so that you can make them gains, baby. This is the product for you. If you're looking to replace a particular meal that you're currently consuming and you just want to do it cheaper, more convenient, tastier, easier to digest, don't have to worry about prepping it other than throwing scoops in a shaker, shaking it up, and away you go. This is the meal replacement protein for you. That's all I've got to say about the Rule 1, R1 Clean Gainer. Guys, hit the subscribe button. Subscribe to the MJ Fitness YouTube channel so you don't miss a beat when it comes to everything we got dropping, including all of these new raw reviews. Guys, that is MJ's raw review on Rule 1 Lean Clean Gainer. In the house. And I'm coming to you from mjfitness.au.